What's up, guys? It's Trevor here with the Detective Collection, and I am so excited to finally be doing my 2024 room tour. I've had some new things come in. I've had a lot of things leave the collection. I've shifted directions in a few different ways, and I am very happy with the way that things are looking and the way that things are setting up right now. I didn't want to do a collection tour before now because I feel like not enough had changed. However, I've started collecting Star Wars. I've started collecting a lot more comic books. I've started collecting a lot more Hot Toys. So I'm really excited for you guys to see the direction that the collection is headed. I'm really happy with the collection room right now. I don't have anything leaving. I don't have anything coming in. And I think it's a really good time to film this room tour. So without further ado, I'm so excited for you guys to see this, my 2024 The Detective Collection room tour. Let's check it out. All right, guys, so we're going to kind of start with an overview of the room as a whole. Like I said, my collection room is upstairs, so you walk upstairs into my collection room, and this is what you see first. You have some posters up here, and then as you walk into the main room, we have some display cabinets over there. We have some seating. This is my wife and my movie room. You have some Lego, and then you come over here and you have the comic book collection. You have some short boxes. You have some other shelves. You have some smaller statues and things like that. So we're going to get into it. We're going to take a closer look at everything. And what we're going to start with is the Detolfs over here. So let's go over here and we will get this thing started. All right, guys, so I did turn off that light so we don't have to deal with the glare as much. Starting on top of the Detolfs, we have some of the smaller figures in my collection. That is my Arkham collection. So some of my favorite iterations of every Batman character is found in the Arkham universe. I'm a massive fan of the Arkham games, just like Chris is, and I really wanted a way to have these figures, or to have these versions of these characters displayed in my collection. So as you can see, we have a mixture of McFarlane, we have some DC Collectibles figures, and this kind of just sits on top of my Detolf, and I love the way that it looks with Batman surrounded by his villains. I know that not every one of these figures are from the Arkhamverse. However, I think these figures like Man-Bat and Hush and Nightwing, they fit the general aesthetic in my opinion. So I'm still really happy to have those, and I really like the way that this looks sitting on top of my Detolf here. If you're wondering about this artwork behind the Arkham display, this is actually a puzzle with artwork by Thomas Kincaid. You kind of have Batman's rogues down here. You have an awesome Gotham City skyline, and you have Batman and Robin jumping into action. I'm not a big puzzle guy. However, my wife does like to do puzzles, so she helped me with this. Honestly, she pretty much did it for me, and I really like the way that it turned out, and I like the artwork on this. So I think it looks really good sitting behind the Arkham figures here. All right, moving down to the first Detolf, we have the Batman Arkham Knight Batman Hot Toy on the left here, and we have the Batman Arkham Knight Batman Beyond skin Hot Toy on the right here. So whenever I started collecting, back when I was talking about watching Chris on YouTube and all that good stuff, this was my grail. Over here on the left, this was the piece that I always looked at and I always wanted to own. On eBay, on Sideshow's website, on YouTube, that was the figure that really it was my grail. Like I said, for the longest time, it was my grail. And whenever I got the funds to do so, whenever I got the ability to make such a big purchase for the collection, this was the first Hot Toy that I bought. And this Hot Toy does have really special meaning to me. And I still think he looks great. Like I said, one of my favorite versions, actually my favorite version of Batman is this guy right here. So I'm happy to have such a cool figure in the collection representing him. And then this guy's awesome too. Moving down, I have his accessories here. You'll see I like to display the Hot Toys accessories with the figures out in front of them to give them sort of a loadout, just because I don't want to put them in the box. I think they're so cool, especially the ones with the Arkham figures. So I like to have these on display here in front of the figures. Moving down from those guys, we have the Ben Affleck Suicide Squad Batman Hot Toy. So this isn't from Batman v Superman. I actually bought this base separately because I wanted him displayed on a Batman v Superman base because I love that movie. But this is the Suicide Squad Hot Toy, and I love the way this guy looks. I think this is probably my favorite on-screen appearance for Batman. The comic accuracy, the Frank Miller representation here. I think this dude is awesome, and I think he just looks so mean standing here in the Detolf. So one of my favorite figures for sure, and yeah, that dude's awesome. Here's his loadout down here. We have his grenade gun, we have his grapnel launcher, or his grapple gun, sorry, and we have his batarang and even his brand over there, which I think is very cool. So moving down from him, we have the Batman the Animated Series Batman by Mondo. This was actually a gift that was given to me at Christmas by my wife. This guy's incredible. It looks like he was just pulled off of the screen of the animated series, and I love the posability on this guy. Not many Batman figures you can pose with a smile and a thumbs up, so he definitely adds a little something different to the collection, and I absolutely love this guy. And he has some awesome accessories. He has some awesome head sculpts. He has his batarang over there. He has a gas mask. He even has these glasses right here. All of these are episode specific, so this guy's super cool. I like him a lot. If I can focus, I'm having trouble focusing. There we go. And then down here we just have a placeholder. This is just a Batman the Animated Series puzzle. Some cool artwork, but basically this is just holding place for some figures that I have on the way. I have Keaton Batman on the way. I also have Bane from The Dark Knight Rises on the way. So this guy's just sitting down here, so this shelf isn't completely empty. So here is the first Detolf in its entirety. I love the way that looks lit up. I did use Govee lighting. I used a tutorial on YouTube. Basically, you just use the Govee lighting strips and you stick them around the outside edge of the Detolf, and I actually think it looks really good, and it's a really simple thing to do. If I can do it, I promise that just about anybody can do it. Moving on to the second Detolf. So starting on the top shelf, we have probably my favorite display in the collection, and that's because The Dark Knight is my favorite movie of all time. Any genre, what have you, this is my favorite movie of all time. This is the DX-19 hot toy over here. This guy looks incredible. I had to display him with the Christian Bale head sculpt just because it looks so dang good. I love that head sculpt. I think it looks phenomenal. And then we have the Heath Ledger Joker over here, the bank robber version. From the beginning of the movie, you see he has his duffel bag full of grenades here. He has his Glock in his hand, and he just looks all kinds of mean. He came with his mask. He came with some money and some playing cards, which is super cool. Sorry, you hear my dog barking back there. That's probably just going to be a theme in today's video. She's been on one today. She's been barking at everything that moves. So you see his loadout down here. He has a sticky bomb gun. He has some sticky bombs, and he also has his grapnel gun. I think those are sticky bombs. No, those aren't sticky bombs. Those are like grenades, I think. And he has some head sculpts, some masked head sculpts here. So like I said, I like to display those because I think it just does a disservice to them being put in the box where nobody can see them. So I like to display all that stuff. Moving down, we have the newest Batman in the collection, the Robert Pattinson Batman from the Batman 2022. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I've seen a lot of Hot Toys. I think that this might be the best looking figure they have ever done. I mean, it looks like Robert Pattinson is standing in my Detolf right here. He's got his card from the Riddler, and this dude just looks incredible. His proportions, everything about him just looks unbelievable. So probably my favorite Batman in the collection right now, for sure. I love that movie. And moving down, we have his accessories. We have his unmasked head sculpt. We have his grapple gun. We have his bat knife. We have his handcuffs. We have a cowl. So he is all kinds of awesome. Moving down from him, sorry about the dust. I know there's a little bit of dust in there. I recently cleaned this entire display, and it's just hard to keep the dust out of there. I try to do the best that I can, but there is a little bit kind of coming into the corners right now, so I apologize for that. Down here we have the Nightmare 2-pack by Hot Toys. We have Batman and Superman. It's cool to see Batman with his 1911 and his scar right here standing in the Detolf. You don't see that very often from Batman, obviously, so I like to have this version of him, but this is the real reason that I bought the 2-pack, and that is Black Suit Superman, Henry Cavill. I absolutely love the Snyderverse. I know it's a point of contention for a lot of people. However, I love these characters. I love that suit. I love these movies. So this 2-pack was a must-have, and I was actually able to pick it up at a good price from a local toy shop here in Lexington, Kentucky. So pretty cool. And down on the bottom shelf, we just have another placeholder. So I went through this phase when I first started collecting comics where I felt like every comic needed to be in a frame for some reason. So these are document frames. They're not actually hurting the comics that much, which these aren't worth anything anyway. But I decided to frame every comic that looked cool to me for some reason. I still have some of those laying around. But this Liber Mayhem art really is still awesome. So this is just a placeholder though. Like I said, I have some Hot Toys on the way. And that guy's just holding the place for those figures that are coming in. Here's a look at the second Detolf on the right. Super cool stuff. And Bane's going to go up here, or Bane's going to go somewhere. I'm going to try to get him into the Dark Knight display somehow and have the big 3 up here. So that's going to be super cool, and can't wait for that. All right, moving on from those display cases. So I don't have the light on because it kind of makes a glare over here. So we'll just look at it this way. Up here on the left, we have Batman Arkham Knight #1, signed by Peter Tomasi. I actually met him at Lexington, Kentucky Comic-Con. He signed this book for me. Like I said, I'm a huge Arkham fan, but this is actually in a top loader. So you can take this off the wall and just switch out whichever books you want to have hanging up here. Kind of just fills this gap right now, but I think it's a cool thing to have and a cool way to display multiple books. Then we have a clock over here that was given to me by my wife as a gift. I think she got this on Etsy. Very cool artwork. I think it's 3D printed or something like that. But very cool, very unique piece to have in the collection. Moving down from that, we have the first non-Batman piece you're going to see, and that is Vecna. So my wife and I are huge Stranger Things fans, and at my local comic book shop recently, they had a local artist named Carl Wilson in the shop, and he was selling prints, and he does a lot of stuff with ink. I'm a huge fan of that medium, and I wanted to get a piece from him. So my wife and I love Stranger Things. I'm into the creepier characters, which is why I like Batman and a lot of other characters like him. And I really like this print of Vecna here, and he looks all kinds of mean standing here in the or framed up here in the frame that I have him in, sitting on the wall right next to the couch here. So I really like this print. I love the way this looks on the wall over here. Super, super cool. Moving down from him, we have a signed print of The Batman Who Laughs by Miko Swayan. Very cool piece. This was actually gifted to me by a fellow collector. He just gave me this because he knew I was a Batman guy, and very cool artwork, very creepy artwork. Really looks good sitting here with Vecna, so I love the way this looks over here. Not a huge Batman Who Laughs guy, but like I said, I'm into the horror stuff. I'm into the creepy stuff, so this is a cool print to have for sure. And then to the right of that awesome print, we have an autograph by Michael Caine, a man who I believe played the best on-screen Alfred. I know we can debate that for days. However, he is my favorite on-screen Alfred. We have a Batman Begins little print right here in a floating frame, certificate of authenticity on the back, autographed by Michael Caine. This was the first Batman-related signature that I ever picked up, so that's super cool, and I love having his autograph in the collection. So take a step back here. We just sort of have an end table. We have some art supplies down here. I do like to draw. I like to do my own version of comic book characters and stuff like that. So some art supplies down there. We have a little end table. We have my video game controllers. We have this awesome lamp that was given to me this Christmas by my parents. So you flip this Batwing over and there's actually a light underneath. Very cool lamp. Really like that thing. And then we actually have a humidity meter down here. So the humidity is high right now. I have my dehumidifier turned off. It's a little stuffy up here, but if I had it turned on, you probably wouldn't be able to hear me in this video. So I do like to keep tabs on humidity. Usually keep it in the 40 to the mid 40s, but it is 55 right now. A little bit high, but we'll get that taken care of after this video is over. So here's a few other things that are not Batman related. We have The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit illustrated editions by J.R.R. Tolkien. Such incredible books. I absolutely love The Lord of the Rings, the movie. I love The Hobbit, the books more than the movie, but still love, I love everything Tolkien, and these artist editions are fantastic. If you haven't checked those out and you're a fan, you need to. He's got several illustrated maps, creatures, original designs for characters, stuff like that in those books, and they really just are awesome books. These are my reader copies of the books over here, and then we have the selected works of Edgar Allan Poe. I'm a huge Edgar Allan Poe fan. Like I said, kind of into the creepy horror stuff, and I love all that Edgar Allan Poe did throughout his life. I love most of his works, his poems, his stories. So very cool book to have there as well. But just a little bookshelf sitting here with some of my favorite works of literature. And then right next to the bookshelf, we have this, which is actually pretty unique, pretty cool piece. This is the sheet music for A Journey in the Dark from Fellowship of the Ring. And if I can focus right there, let's see. These lights are messing with it. There we go. So this is the sheet music from A Journey in the Dark, Fellowship of the Ring, and then they did this cool thing where they put a print on the bottom of the sheet music. So just really cool. I picked this up this year at Lexington Comic-Con, and it looks good next to the books here. So I really like the way this looks, and this is my small and humble Lord of the Rings collection over here. So I turn this lamp back on so we can see this next piece. This is my lightsaber from Savi's Workshop, Disney World in Orlando. Absolutely love this thing. Loved the experience of building this lightsaber with my wife. We are both big Star Wars fans, so getting to build these lightsabers at Savi's Workshop was something that we'll never forget, and this piece looks awesome hanging on the wall here. So I'll turn it on for you guys real quick. As you can see, I went with the purple blade because I do like Mace Windu, but growing up watching the prequels, I always thought that the purple saber was one of the coolest ones. So that blade was just calling me, and I had to throw a purple blade on my lightsaber. Absolutely love it. So very cool. Moving on from that, just have a little bit of art over here on the other side of the couch. We have just a kind of a canvas print thing. We have some more comics in frames. Like I said, don't know why I did that, but I did. That's actually a pretty cool book right there. And then we have some pieces from Hobby Lobby, just some comic covers that are printed onto a wood background there. So those are actually pretty cool. Not sure how long they'll be up there if I get some more art in or something like that, but nonetheless, they are cool, and they are up there for now. So, all right, so down here we have some Lego. The first of the Lego, we have the Batman cowl here on the left. This was actually given to me by my wife as a birthday gift one year. We have the Batman v Superman Batwing, which came with a bunch of really cool minifigs from Batman v Superman. We have the Batman 89 Batmobile. Not the massive version, unfortunately, but a cool version nonetheless. We have Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton down there. We have the Tumbler from Batman Begins. We have the Scarecrow, and we have the Christian Bale Batman there on the left. Then we have the Batmobile with Robert Pattinson and the Penguin from the Batman 2022. So, small little Lego collection over here. My wife is actually really big into Legos, so she has some really big Lego pieces, but I'm not as much into them as she is. Moving down from those, we have a few NECA pieces. We have the grapnel gun from Batman the Animated Series, and then we also have the Michael Keaton Batarang from Batman 89 and Batman Returns. So just cool little pieces in the collection. Kind of just providing something to be on the shelf, but they are really cool and cool little props from some iconic versions of Batman. Over here to the left of that, we have all of the Jada Toys Batmobiles lined up from 1966 all the way from the Batman 2022. I could see myself getting rid of these in the future. These are kind of just little Batmobiles that I did collect for a while, but nonetheless, they are still pretty cool, and it's cool to have them lined up from beginning to end here, so you can kind of see the development of the Batmobile on screen over the years. Moving down from that, we just have my Batman Blu-ray and DVD collection. So sorry about the hair and stuff. I've got 2 dogs. They like to wander around up here, so their hair gets a little bit everywhere, especially on this black furniture up here. All right, moving over here to this little corner of the collection, we have some BCW short boxes with a whole bunch of comic books inside. And then we have a gift that was given to me this Christmas by one of my friends who is also a fellow collector. He collects Spider-Man and Marvel and more things Marvel related. However, he found this at a peddler's mall, and he picked this up for me and also got me the frame. This is a Rolling Stone magazine from when Michael Keaton was cast as Batman. So that's really cool and really unique. And I have it on display over here on top of my short boxes. So that's super cool. Moving up to this shelf over here, we just have a few odds and ends. Got some Funko Pops and stuff like that. We have all my badges from Lexington Comic-Con this year and last year, just sort of hanging up. Top shelf over here. Honestly, a lot of this stuff is sort of on the chopping block. This could be stuff that I see myself getting rid of. Nonetheless, I still think it's pretty cool. We have the entire DCEU wave from McFarlane. Well, not the entire one, but the characters that I wanted to add to the collection. We have Zack Snyder's Justice League wave, and we have the Shazam and the Black Adam figures over there. Down here, we have the Batman 66 figures by McFarlane. This was given to me by my wife as a gift. I didn't even know that it existed, but they came in this lunchbox here, and I don't think I'll be getting rid of these. This is really the only representation of the 66 Batman that I have in my collection, so I still want to hang on to it, and I think the lunchbox is super cool, and it was a gift, so I want to hang on to these guys. Here's another humidity meter over here next to my comic books. Like I said, got to get that down a little bit, but it's a little stuffy up here right now, so we'll get that taken care of. But moving down from that, we have the Dark Knight Returns wave from McFarlane. I'm not sure how long I'll have these guys in the collection. They're awesome, and I love this story, but they've kind of run their course for me, and I want to add some more items. So got to move stuff out to get stuff in. Down here, we have another gift from my wife. This is Batman v Superman Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Another thing that I did not know existed, but those guys are super cool. And we have the Batman v Superman soundtrack on vinyl in the back there, which is pretty cool. It's one of my favorite movie soundtracks, so just a cool little Batman v Superman display here. Like I said, I love that movie. I love that soundtrack, so cool little display right here. Then on the bottom shelf, we have Batman the Animated Series diorama by McFarlane. I think this guy lights up. Sorry about the dust there, but yep, he lights up. And then another gift from the wife. I like to play chess, and this is an awesome chess set, Batman and the Joker chess set. So very cool. I'll back up so you guys can see it all. And then we will move on to my favorite section, which is the comic books. All right, as you can see, we have this big bat symbol over here. That was given to me as a gift. It's super cool looking, hanging on the wall over here. We have my dehumidifier, which right now is turned off, like I said, so you can hear me. Very important to have a dehumidifier, though, with these comic books and these figures. Try to keep them in as pristine condition as I can. Up here above my books, we have the Diamond Select Batman comic book. Sorry about that. There we go. Got that lighting right. We have the Batman Diamond Select comic book statues, 1/6 scale. We We have Scarecrow, we have Bane, we have Batman, we have Catwoman, we have the Joker. And I like having these guys above the comic books just because it is the comic versions of these characters, so that's pretty cool. Moving down from there, I'll show you these down here first. This is just all my trade paperbacks, all my reading material. This is actually a short box full of comics that I am selling. And we have some more short boxes over here on this shelf. So just some reading stuff down there, trade paperbacks, all that good stuff, short boxes. And then we have my display books, which I am very happy with, very proud of. So starting off, we have Batman number 244. Let me turn this light off. It might, not really. All right, there we go. Batman 244, iconic Neil Adams cover. It's in rough shape. I'd like to upgrade that copy. Still very cool though. We have Batman number 497, signed by Kelly Jones, my favorite Batman artist of all time. I really like the exaggerated features that he does. Like I said, I'm into horror art, some of the creepier stuff, and Kelly Jones encapsulates that very well. So Batman 497, signed by the man himself. Then we have Batman 357, the first appearance of Killer Croc, debatably. It is a debate. One of the first appearances of Killer Croc, I'll say that. That's a good looking copy right there. Most of these books are in Mylar. The ones that are being displayed in the front are all in Mylar. We have Batman 246. That's an iconic Neil Adams cover, a controversial Neil Adams cover, but it is signed by Neil Adams. So very cool book to have his signature on, in my opinion. Very unique book to have his signature on. Then we have Batman 126. This is from 1959. This is the first appearance of the second Firefly. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I'm super into some of the more obscure Batman villains, and this guy checks that box for me. I really like this cover. I like the pink. I like that all the characters are on the cover. Very, very cool in my opinion. 1959, the oldest book in my collection. Then back here, just sort of peeking through, we have Batman Damned, one of my favorite Batman stories. This is the Jim Lee variant cover for book 2, and this is signed by Jim Lee, and it's signed by Lee Bermejo, two of my favorite Batman artists of all time. Very cool piece. This was actually sold to me by Sammy, the Bat Fan Addict. He recently did a collection tour on Chris's channel as well, and yeah, this book is super awesome. He threw another book in with this one, just as a sort of gift, and I really appreciated that as well. Then we have Detective Comics 400, the first appearance of Man-Bat, one of my favorite Batman villains of all time. As obscure as he may be, I absolutely love this guy. In the animated series, in the comics, in the Arkham games, he is one of my favorite Batman villains, and I finally picked up his first appearance this year at Lexington Comic-Con in Lexington, Kentucky. It's a good looking copy too. Then we have Vengeance of Bane number 1. This is actually the second print, but I don't care because it's signed by Graham Nolan and Chuck Dixon, the creators of Bane, with a certificate of authenticity. That is an awesome piece. I love the Nightfall storyline. That is my favorite Batman story overall, is the Nightfall storyline. And Bane is obviously a massive player in that storyline. To have his creator's signature on the book in which he was created, that is very cool to me. So, moving on from that, we have Batman 251, iconic cover by Neil Adams. This is a book that I recently added to the collection, and quite frankly, I never thought that I would own this book. I had the art on the wall over there for years, and actually owning the legitimate copy of this book is awesome to me. It's still kind of surreal that it's in my collection. This was a grail for me for quite some time as well. So very, very cool, iconic Neil Adams cover art there. And behind him, we have Batman the Knight #1, signed by Greg Capullo with a certificate of authenticity. Cool Capullo cover art there. This signature looks awesome on the black background, in my opinion. And I got that for a really good deal at a local comic shop not too long ago. And then to the right of that book, we have another big one. That is Batman #232, the first appearance of Ra's al Ghul. And I just got this book in yesterday. I'm not going to lie, this is a pretty rough looking copy, but the price I got on this was unbelievable. And it just came in yesterday. It still presents really well, but that is it. The first appearance of Ra's al Ghul. Iconic Neil Adams cover right there. Iconic book in general. Very, very cool to add to the collection. So here is my entire comic book display as it sits right now. I love to display my books, but I always keep them in Mylar, keep them out of direct sunlight, and yeah, I love having these guys on display up here. So very cool. Moving on from that, we have a display that I created using J-Channel from the local hardware store, just so I could display a few more books in top loaders in my collection. So starting with those, we have Superman #182. This is the first Silver Age appearance of the Toyman, and probably the best Silver Age book in my collection as far as condition is concerned. That thing looks like it just came off the press. Very, very cool, from my local comic book shop, Clobberin Comics in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Then we have the iconic first print of Batman the Killing Joke, Alan Moore, Brian Bolland. Then we have a little bit of an oddball. This is a book that I just got yesterday, so I am into some of the more oddball comic books on the market. This is the Twilight Zone #44, and there's no significance to it whatsoever. I think it's like a $2 book. However, it is a cool old book that presents super well. It's in really good shape, and that's actually a Mark Jewelers variant. So very cool book. And I just kind of throw random books up here that I want to display, and then whenever I get tired of them, I'll take them down and put more up. Then we have Brave and the Bold '79, Batman and Deadman. Very cool cover right there. Very iconic Neil Adams cover right there for Brave and the Bold. Then we have World's Finest #173. This is the first Silver Age appearance of Two-Face. You can see him here on the cover. Very cool book, purple background. I always like the purple and the pink backgrounds. I think they look really cool. And there's the comic collection as a whole right now, along with several books in these short boxes, just sort of scattered around. But this is my pride and joy currently in the collection, for sure. Moving on from that, we have a mini fridge over here. This actually used to be a sort of dresser that was in the wall, and I took the drawers out and put a fridge up here. This is our movie room, so we have a lot of snacks and drinks up here. And then we have the candy jars sitting on top. So cool to have some food and drinks up here for whenever we want to watch movies, watch TV. Then we have a David Finch piece over here. This is from Hobby Lobby. Pretty cool. It's actually like a sort of raised metal underneath this frame. Pretty neat. And then down from there, we have some Big Figs by Jack's Pacific. These are actually on the chopping block as well. If anybody's interested in these, give me a shout. I'll sell them to you for a good price. They are still pretty cool, but just trying to make a little more space. Then we just have a tower fan over here. We have my PlayStation 5. We have a television, like I said, movie watching room. See the TV here. We have some little odds and ends. I'm actually a huge Rocky fan. So we have Apollo and Rocky down here on the left, Funko Pops. We have PlayStation lamp and old PS4. some bobbleheads, a little Rey Mysterio down there from back in the day. I was obsessed with the WWE, so still have a few odds and ends down there. It is a little dusty. This TV stand is impossible to keep clean. It's like a black mirror. It's insane. Then we just have sort of a movie and video game collection down there. Moving on from that, we're going to go into the final corner of the collection over here. Let's check it out. So I just picked up this cabinet from IKEA. This is an IKEA Rudsta. And I used to have a tiny bookshelf over here with some odds and ends on top of it, but I made a major upgrade recently and I love the way that it looks. On top of here, this is sort of my Star Wars area. I've been adding some Star Wars Hot Toys, some Star Wars comics lately. My wife and I love Star Wars, and adding these to the collection has honestly sort of reinvigorated me. So I've been happy to do so. But up on top of here, we have Star Wars #1. This is a diamond reprint, so it's significantly worth less money than the first print. However, it was still printed in 1977, and I still think it's pretty awesome. And because Star Wars isn't my main focus, I don't mind too much. Then we have another Star Wars diamond reprint #2 and #3. And even though they're relatively inexpensive compared to the real deal, those books are pretty sweet, and they're all still from that time period. So still pretty cool books in my opinion, and I sort of just have them sitting on top of my Star Wars display for the time being. I turned off my Detolf light so we don't have to fight that glare. We're going to check out some more Hot Toys. So this is my most recent addition to the collection as far as Hot Toys is concerned. This is Boba Fett repaint armor from The Mandalorian Season 2. So this dude is awesome. Have him posed up with his rifle here. Have him shooting this flame out of his gauntlet. I absolutely love this guy. He's probably my favorite fig in the collection right now, overall. So, love the way he's posed right there. Super cool figure. So, moving on from him, we have Snowspeeder Luke from The Empire Strikes Back. One of my first Star Wars Hot Toys I picked up. One of my favorite looks for Luke Skywalker. He's holding his lightsaber here. He's got his helmet under his arm. Really like the way that he looks. One of my favorite looks for Luke, like I said, in that orange sort of speeder suit. Moving down, we have the man himself, one of my favorite characters in any medium, Darth Vader. This is the Empire Strikes Back version. As you can see, he is sort of perched up over the railing, asking Luke to join the dark side. I was kind of worried this figure wouldn't fit in this display cabinet, but he does. Without a base, he's got like 1/8 of an inch. So, still a very cool figure though. Love the way he looks in this lighting. And yeah, those are my Star Wars Hot Toys as of right now. In the bottom shelf and shelf over here to the right, we have tons of opportunity. So I'm looking to add several more figures for weeks and months and years to come. So very cool. Then we have this big boy over here, the Lego Batwing from Batman 1989. Very cool piece. The biggest Lego set I have in my collection, and very cool. I like the way it looks hanging on the wall here. I'd like to get a lighting kit for it. This thing's pretty awesome. So hanging over here on the wall. Moving down, we have a little bit of a little stat sheet for the Batwing, and then the awesome minifigs that came with it. We have Bob the Goon, we have Michael Keaton Batman, we have the Mime Joker right there. So cool looking display for sure. Then to end things, we have the OG Toy Biz Batman figures from Batman 89. We have Batman and the Joker, complete with bat rope, complete with the squirting orchid. Super cool. We have some DC Comics superheroes figures down here. We have Mr. Freeze, one of my favorites, and we have the Riddler. So very cool. Little display corner over here. I like this corner paying homage to Batman 89. And then last but not least, we have my logo that I hand drew, hand sketched, whatever you want to call it. This has been super cool. I've ended up using this as my personal logo for my Instagram, for my YouTube, and now I have it on a hat, and just cool to see that design kind of come to fruition and be something that I created myself. So one last look at the collection room here in its entirety. Detolf's over here. Couch, Saber. We have some movie posters over there. I didn't really talk about those, but we have Batman Returns. We have Joker. We just have a cool piece of Batman art. And over here we have the comic book collection, the fridge, and all that good stuff. So thank you guys for watching so much. I truly appreciate it. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching this room tour. It truly means the most to me, getting to show you guys my collection, getting to show you guys the things that I'm passionate about. Thank you so much for watching this video. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube at The Detective Collection, and I will see you next time.